Hi friends, it's Father Andrew, Essex Girl. Thank you very much for this question. Do you get to choose where you work, or do you apply to ads like in any normal job? Great question. And as you say, it's not a normal job. I am a freehold incumbent, which means that I don't even have a contract or anything similar, just a sort of heavy paper license, not quite with a wax seal, but nearly, from the bishop to be the incumbent of St. Peter's, Walworth. Having said that, there are adverts for jobs, and in fact that's increasingly common. There are 43 dioceses in the Church of England, and each one does this ever so slightly different. But more and more it is common for jobs to be advertised either online or in the Church Times. Yes, that's a real thing. Or I suppose the Church of England newspaper would be the other source. And essentially, yes, you apply. And the system is more and more kind of uniform. I haven't applied for a job for 14 and a bit years. So it's definitely changed since then. And I think there's a bit more of a kind of common application form for these posts. And then really the patron of the parish and the parish representatives are in charge of organising the recruitment process, usually with an archdeacon or the area bishop, to do shortlisting. Well, of course, before that, drawing up what's called the parish profile, which tells you about the parish, what the parish feels are the needs of the parish in terms of looking for a new parish priest, and other bits of information. And then, yeah, there's shortlisting, interviews. I think it's fairly common these days to ask for a sermon or a presentation. I had to give a presentation on what I felt the needs of the parish were over the next 5 years when I started. Be interesting to look back at that, actually. I've got that printed out somewhere in a folder which I used at the time, also showing how long ago that was. So you apply to ads. Now, having said that, there is also, I suppose like in many other fields, the tap on the shoulder from a bishop or an archdeacon. That happens from time to time. There's usually, for most jobs, an open recruitment process. So it would be more a case of someone tapping you on the shoulder and saying, have you thought about applying for this? Or we'd really like to encourage you to apply for this. But every so often bishops do what they like, and they appoint someone to a particular position without putting an advert out. And I did know of a diocese at least a few years ago who basically only circulated job adverts within the clergy of that diocese. I don't know if that's still the case, but that's also one way of doing it. So there you are. Oh, and do you choose where you work? Most jobs in the Church of England for clergy, parish clergy at least, are kind of not bound by time. So in theory, I could stay in my current job until I legally have to stop at the age of 70, which is the mandatory retirement age for clergy. Discuss. So there's a sense that, in this is discernment. Should be discernment. You, as the individual priest, are discerning, is this where God is calling me? And the parish representatives with the patron, who might be the diocesan bishop, or it might be some figure, some lord or lady in some situations. It might even be the crown who is the patron, or it might be a Christian charity of some sort, or a missionary agency. It might even be the vicar of a local bigger or more historic parish, which is interesting. But there should be a sense that this is about discernment. It's not an interview in the same sense. So although you're applying through an advert, it really should be an act of discernment. And there's lots I could say about that. But I'm gonna stop waffling. Hope that's helpful. Bye.